You ever sit down to do something really important, and then 15 minutes later you're reading about how penguins propose to each other? Yeah, me too. One moment I'm opening a work document, the next I'm knee-deep in some weird corner of the internet. I'm not proud of it, but I'll admit I've spent more time researching productivity hacks than actually being productive. It's embarrassing, like being an expert on dieting while secretly eating cheesecake for breakfast. And what do you call that? It's like a cocktail of procrastination and denial, and I was chugging it daily. I kept telling myself tomorrow I'd get my act together. Spoiler, tomorrow kept getting pushed to, well, tomorrow. Eventually I got tired of being the punchline of my own joke. Something had to change. I decided I was going to train my focus so hard it looked like magic. I wanted to be so zoned in that people watching would think I was doing some kind of wizardry when really I was just working. Alright, so here's how my breakdown happened. My breaking point wasn't glamorous. Picture this. I'm rushing out of my apartment with a coffee in one hand and my phone in the other, frantically replying to a supposedly urgent work message that absolutely could have waited. I'm juggling my keys, bag, and still trying to type as I step into the hallway. Bam! I walk face first into my closed front door. Coffee everywhere, phone clatters to the floor, my ego bruised and dripping in caffeine. That right there was the physical smack to go along with the mental wall I had hit. Inside it felt like my brain had 34 browser tabs open and I couldn't find which one was playing music. Constant noise. I was always busy but had nothing real to show for it. I realized I wasn't actually tired from effort, I was just unfocused. And it hit me. Focus isn't magic. It's a skill. If you don't train it, the world will train it for you. Every app and notification is ready to snatch your attention and leave you with nothing but fleeting dopamine hits and regret. Let me take you back to what I call my clown phase, the time when I convinced myself I could multitask through anything. I was that person, 20 tabs open, half pointless, phone buzzing nonstop, plus a TV in the background. I'd jump from an email to a text to a social feed and back in minutes. I thought I was killing it. Spoiler, I wasn't. Multitasking was a lie. It was like juggling flaming torches, and I was getting burned. My stress was sky high, I was over-caffeinated and jittery, and my to-do list had mutated into a monster. The more I tried to do at once, the less I got done. The wake-up call came on a random Tuesday night, or technically Wednesday morning. It's about 2:30 a.m. and I'm still awake, lying on my couch in the dark, phone glowing in my hand. I'd been scrolling mindlessly through social media for ages, binging on an endless stream of other people's lives. On the coffee table, a bowl of cereal I poured an hour ago has turned into soggy sludge. There's a half-eaten candy bar beside it. I'm literally wearing one sock for some reason. My brain is buzzing with a mix of anxiety and numbness, that gross, hollow feeling of being overstimulated and drained at the same time. Then out of nowhere I had a flash of clarity. I looked at myself, phone in hand, nothing to show for my day, and thought, is this who I am now? I saw myself, distracted, anxious, accomplishing nothing. A wave of shame hit. I realized I'd been giving the worst of myself to what mattered, and wasting my best on meaningless distractions. That hit like a punch to the gut. I actually whispered, no, this has to stop, I can't keep doing this. In that lonely, quiet moment I made a decision. No dramatic tantrum, no throwing the phone across the room, though I was tempted, just a clear decision. Enough. Enough of being a spectator in my own life. If focus was a skill, I was going to train it like my life depended on it. Picture a Rocky-style montage, but instead of jogging up steps, it's me closing browsers and putting my phone in a drawer. I vowed to myself, I'm going to train my focus like an athlete trains their body. I wanted to become the kind of person who could sit down and actually get things done so effectively it would almost look like a magic trick. So I got to work on my focus training. And let me tell you, it was not about discovering some fancy life hack or downloading a miracle app. It was about changing a bunch of small, boring habits and sticking with them. First, I basically toddler-proofed my life. I treated my brain like a mischievous kid with a pair of scissors. Love the kid, but you don't leave them alone with something they can hurt themselves with. I removed temptations, turned off non-essential notifications. I put my phone in a drawer or another room when I needed to buckle down. I even installed a website blocker to shut down the rabbit holes before I could fall in. It felt weird at first, like, am I really this easily distracted? Answer, yes, yes I am. But setting up my environment to minimize the distractions was like creating a safe playpen for my focus. Next, I learned to start tiny. I had to tame my overambitious brain that wanted to tackle everything at once and then panicked and did nothing. Instead of writing finish entire project on my to-do list, I wrote things like open the file or write one paragraph. I'm talking embarrassingly small goals. But it works. Once I did that little thing, momentum kicked in. I'd think, well, I've come this far, might as well keep going. It's like tricking a stubborn horse into taking a few steps. Once it moves, it's a lot easier to guide. My productivity went from 0 to something, all because I lowered the bar to entry. Another thing, I stopped treating burnout like a badge of honor. I used to wear my exhaustion like it was proof I was working hard. I'd brag about how little sleep I got as if it earned me gold stars. That was dumb. Now I prioritize sleep. I take breaks when I need them. I go for a walk to clear my head. And I do not feel guilty about it. Being tired isn't some noble virtue, it's just being tired. I realized if I really cared about my goals, I had to take care of the engine, me, that's supposed to achieve them. I also forced myself to single task one thing at a time, as if nothing else existed. At first it was painful. My brain, addicted to constant stimulation, went into withdrawal when I cut off its multitasking supply. I'd catch myself reaching for my phone or opening a new tab out of habit, and I'd have to stop and go, no, focus. But each time I resisted those urges, it got a little easier. I slowly built up my focus stamina, and the satisfaction of actually finishing something, even a small task, felt way better than any quick hit of social media. I started craving that done feeling more than the distraction. Along the way, I learned a few hard truths. I wasn't lazy after all. I was just overwhelmed. Once I gave my brain some clarity and direction, it could actually get things done. I also learned you can't wait around for motivation. You need routines and systems to keep you going when inspiration fades. My big goals meant nothing when my daily life was a chaotic hamster wheel. So I started fixing that piece by piece, and I stopped blaming my phone and the internet for distracting me. Sure, they're tempting, but at the end of the day, I'm the one who takes the bait. That was tough to admit, but also empowering. It meant I could take my power back over my own attention, and that felt really good, like I was finally in control of my time, instead of letting everything else control me. Fast forward to now. I'm not going to pretend I'm a completely transformed cyborg of productivity. I'm still me. I still slip up sometimes. I'll catch myself knee-deep in a late-night YouTube binge now and then. But I'm so much better than I was. Now I catch those moments and pull myself out before they spiral out of control. I'm actually finishing projects that I used to just talk about. People around me have noticed the change. A friend actually asked, "Dude, what's your secret? Did you find like a focus potion or something?" I laughed and told him the truth. No secret, no potion. I just worked on it. I trained for this. Day by day, boring step by boring step. That's it. But enough about me. Let's talk about you for a second. I want you to think about something and be honest with yourself here. What would your life look like if you actually finish the things you start? Think about that one big thing you've been putting off, or all those half-done projects sitting in limbo. Imagine if you completed them one by one. No more dragging the guilt around. No more half-hearted "maybe I'll get to it next week" lies. What would change? How would you feel waking up in the morning knowing you keep your promises to yourself? Look, that life you imagined, it's possible. But it won't happen by accident. You've got to fight for it. There will be days when your brain begs for an easy way out. When that voice in your head says, "Come on, just one quick break," take a deep breath and say, "Not today, clown." Say it like you mean it. Yeah, it's a goofy phrase, but it works. Make it your battle cry against procrastination. Not today. You're in charge. So I'll leave you with the same question I asked myself that night. What if you became the version of yourself who actually finishes what they start? No more excuses. No more dragging your feet. No more being your own worst enemy. What if starting today, right now, you decided to show up for yourself fully? There's only one way to find out.